We're talking with Deanna Brown Thomas, who's the president of the James Brown Family Children Foundation, which was started in 2007. Hello, Deanna.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Deanna, you are the daughter of the Godfather of Soul, James Brown.
Yes, I am. I grew up under Papa Don't Take No Mess, so it wasn't just a song, it was reality.
Was he really the famous taskmaster that he has a reputation for?
He was very strict on his stage as well as in the home and his businesses. My dad come from a very poor background. He didn't have anything. He had to stop at the 7th grade to go to work to make money to bring home for the family. He had to work very, very hard for what he earned.
I don't want nobody to give me nothing, but at the door, I'll get it myself.
You talking about going to school with holes in your shoes and the same old dirty clothes when you are a young boy. But then before you leave this earth, you are revered as the Godfather of Soul, Mr. James Brown, a revolutionist. His music gave us feeling and meaning and purpose because he worked hard at what he did.
You don't get the reputation of being the hardest working man in show business by taking it easy.
He really didn't even want you taking off Martin Luther King birthday. Now, this is the funny part about my daddy, is that he was part of the movement to get Reagan to make it a holiday. Him and Reverend Sharpton went to President Reagan and Vice President Bush and talked to them about making this a holiday. So he was part of that movement to support Mrs. Coretta Scott King. When you put others ahead of you, you're truly doing the work of the Lord.
And I might note that he passed away on Christmas Day of 2006.
Yes.
We're talking with Deanna Brown Thomas, president of the James Brown Family Children Foundation, which I can mention is a 501c3 nonprofit corporation founded in 2007. Deanna, you became executive vice president of the James Brown Enterprises in 1994.
I did travel the road with him, and I worked as program director for the radio stations as well. He had a radio station in Atlanta, Georgia, and in Augusta, Georgia. But this was radio stations after he had radio stations in the 70s. When I was just a young girl, he had radio stations. Although I was working, doing whatever needed to be done, I was still learning what I needed to learn for a day such as this.
As the daughter of James Brown, the Godfather of Soul, you, of course, are very familiar with him giving back to the community. Tell us a little bit about some of the activities of the James Brown Family Children Foundation.
My father started over 20 years ago, and we have been graced by God to continue those charitable events, the James Brown Turkey Giveaway and the James Brown Toy Giveaway. My father never forgot where he came from, and he wanted to go back and help those that didn't make it out of the ghettos like he did. Very few people who make it successfully. You don't find too many that go in their pocket. You find many that will lend their name to an event. You find many that will get endorsements and get other people to put up, but how many actually go in their own pocket and pull out and make things happen for other people? And that's what I saw my father do. We have not gotten any type of financial assistance from the estate. It wasn't designed that way. This is a family foundation, and so this is something that we're doing because we know what was important to my father.
And folks can find out more about the Family Foundation at jamesbrownfamilyfdn.org. We're talking with Deanna Brown Thomas. She's the daughter of the Godfather of Soul, James Brown. She's also president of the James Brown Family Children Foundation. Deanna, let's talk about the movie soon to be produced. And I believe Mick Jagger is one of the backers of this production?
Yes, correct. He is, along with Brian Grazer of Imagine Entertainment.
And the movie is going to be a biography, the life of James Brown.
We're looking forward to working with them and bringing forth a fun and good and interesting historical biopic.
Deanna, let's talk about a really exciting subject, and that's JAMP, J-A-M-P, the James Brown Academy of Music Pupils.
Pass the peas.
What?
Pass the peas.
Come on.
Pass the peas.
Well, pass them then.
The kids together under your creative guidance have put out this new album. It's called JAMP-ism the New Breed. Tell us about this project.
We released it on December 23rd of last year. They covered 11 of his songs, and these kids range from age 7 to 18. and they were playing real instruments, and I'm just so proud of them. We took them into the studio in the summertime just to show them what it is to be in a studio. We let them play around in there and do some songs and everything. And that's all that was on our mind, just so that the kids can get the experience of being in a recording studio and what it all takes after you record, how you edit and all of that, just to give them that exposure, not knowing that God had planned for us to have a CD together before the end of the year.
So we have tracks on this album, including Pass the Peas, Soul Power, Doing It to Death, Get on the Good Foot, Get Up Off of That Thing, Try Me, Make It Funky, I Got the Feeling, Get It Together, Cold Sweat, and I Got You, I Feel Good. And we should also add that the James Brown Academy of Music Pupils is a music scholarship program and program for students in schools. So this wasn't just a project to put out the CD.
Now, this is an actual school. This is something that my dad had always talked about, keeping music in the schools. That's one of the first things that they cut when they talk about cutting budget. And Dad always said that when they start taking prayer and music out of the schools, you're going to see young kids going out here killing each other because they won't have nothing else on their mind. Everybody doesn't play sports, so you got to keep these things in the schools to keep them well-rounded. The lead singer who does most of the songs, his name is Nigel Henderson. He's only 11 years old. It's so great when you can teach them all these songs. My dad made clean songs for the whole family to enjoy. Fun music that so many generations and cultures around the world have enjoyed. And we kind of laugh that the worst thing we got 11-year-old boy singing is Try Me, and he ain't tried nothing and ain't nobody tried him yet.
Try me.
He's singing this classic song that was done in the late 50s. His parent wasn't even born yet. It is just wonderful to see young kids coming together, learning and being a part of something that is positive. And we're doing this right here, blocks away from where my father grew up as a young boy in Augusta, Georgia.
Ew! I feel good. I knew that I would now.
Deanna Brown Thomas, president of the James Brown Family Children Foundation, talking about JAMP, which is the James Brown Academy of Music Pupils, and some of the fine work that those kids are doing. I was very impressed with Nigel, the lead singer, as I listened to all the tracks. How can people who are interested in getting these tracks or the CD, how would they go about doing that, Deanna?
You can purchase it at cdbaby.com, or if you're into the downloading, you can go to iTunes or the website, jamesbrownfamilyfdn.org. That's where they can get it for those that are around the world listening. Must say this, I was so proud, Kingsley. Our first CD was sold in Japan.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Deanna Brown Thomas, president of the James Brown Family Children Foundation. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Deanna, you've got some great projects going. James Brown Annual Turkey Giveaway, the James Brown Annual Toy Giveaway, the JAMP Project for Kids, and all the other fine work that you have done. We really appreciate you taking the time to talk with us today.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for having me, allowing me to be able to let you know what we are doing at our little corner of the world. And we invite all you, as well as all of your listeners, to come to Augusta, Georgia. There's an exhibit here at the Augusta Museum of History that I did with them on my dad. That was the first exhibit that was done. And, of course, we have the James Brown statue. Augusta, Georgia is a fun place to be, so we would love for you to come.
Deanna Brown Thomas, the daughter of the late Godfather of Soul, James Brown. Deanna, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.